Hello and welcome back to Pravus Gaming and EU for Common Sense, Scotland. Alright, so I think we need to take a little bit of a breather. Oh, looks like Denmark is changing their rivals around. No longer rivals Novgorod. Probably a wise choice. Anyways, alright, so we're going to take a little bit of a breather, I think. I could technically go to war with Norway, but I don't think that's actually a wise idea. Let's gather up our brand new trade ships, since those are all finished. There we go. We'll have them all join the main fleet. And, oh, right. So last time we were considering what would happen if we made London our trade capital. I think it's worth it, to be honest. I really do. The extra trade efficiency from trade ideas is the only reason I might hesitate. Now, that would cost me 400 diplomatic power, and I would get 10% trade efficiency. And since I am currently making about almost 5 ducats a month out of trade, that would be worth a fair bit. But I really think that I'm going to get a heck of a lot more out of London, and it'll only cost me half the monarch points that the next idea would. And it's not like I'm about to get the modernization of the Royal Scottish Navy, so you know what? I think it's worthwhile. I do think that we want to make London the trade port, so let's do that. Actually, first, let's just see what happens. All right, so currently we're making 4.97 ducats a month out of trade. So if I make London my main trading port, 200 power, ouch, done. Okay, and let's see. You're currently collecting from trade. Not sure we're going to need you to anymore. I don't want this guy collecting from trade anymore either. I'll adjust it all as we go, but let's just take a look at what happens. Let's see, we're going from 5 ducats a month to, cross your fingers, 4.93. Okay, so we made less. Hang on, though, that's not a surprise. So we currently have a merchant collecting from trade there. Let's transfer trade power. There we go. So that'll send it downstream into the English Channel. That should give me a little more power, I believe. Yes, plus 10% transfer from the North Sea. All right, so we have another merchant who will be going to... Where should I send him? Somewhere that also goes into the English Channel. Lubeck we're already steering, so I guess we'll put him in Champagne. Transfer trade power there as well. Alpine McGregor. There we go. And kaboom. I think we're done with Castile. That's fine. Okay. So now we have 34% trade power. Oh, wow. Okay, we're up to 6 ducats a month. But I think that it ticked to the next month before this fully updated. So I'd like to think we're going to be actually making a little bit more than that in a minute. There we go. Let's recall our diplomat from Holland. 7.11. Okay. So by doing that, we popped ourselves to over 2 ducats a month. Extra in trade, which is pretty good. It's better than the idea would have been. So yeah, you know what? I think that ultimately was the right call. And frankly, the more trade I'll be able to steer in there later, the better. So okay, cool. We are now making a nice hefty 5 ducats and a half per month. Let's go ahead and repay this loan that I didn't mean to take. That'll bump our income up a little bit. Perfect. All right, so I was thinking a little bit about diplomacy and some things that I could do. Last time I was improving relations with Holland, thinking maybe I'll ally. Heck, potentially I could even vassalize them. But really, they're a member of the Empire. I'm already up to 100 improved relation. It's just not going to happen. And the only reason I was considering doing that was because Holland is a super trade power within the English Channel. Flanders, however, does also have a coastal center of trade, which is pretty good. So I kind of wonder if maybe Flanders would be willing to do something. Now, they're currently at war with Burgundy. So I'm not going to ally them right now, but let's just go ahead and improve relations with them for a little bit. Let's just see if that goes anywhere, huh? See if that goes anywhere. All right, we've got our fleet here. Let's go ahead and send them to patrol the English Channel. Actually, that should improve our trade power even more. Currently have 128 trade power. We're going to go from 7.11 ducats to 7.92. Fantastic. So within the last couple of months, by changing London to our capital and putting in some more ships and rearranging our merchants, we're making a nice hefty extra 3 ducats a month that we weren't otherwise. I consider that to be pretty good. I do. I do consider that to be pretty good. I'm a little worried that Leinster might rise up at some point soon. I mean, it's only a 5% chance, but that's not good, you know? So the question I'm now facing is, do I up the army maintenance preemptively, expecting full well that eventually these Irishmen will eventually rebel, and I want to be prepared, because if they rise up and I can't respond fast enough and they siege Leinster down because it doesn't have a fort, then that means another 10 years of separatism, and the cycle just goes on, and I don't want to do that. So let's go ahead and up the army maintenance. Once it's up to full, I'll just park it on Leinster for a little while and let their years of separatism tick away. Return province. Wow, that's interesting. So let's see. I can't change... Well, how long? Okay. Separatism lasts until 1488. 4 more years, really. It cannot be changed until 1497. So am I looking at another 13 years or so of autonomy in Leinster? That might be what's going on. In the meantime, by the way, we are reinforcing our units with some of the manpower that we managed to reserve up. And the more that we've actually topped off all of these regiments, the less of an army maintenance fee I will have to be paying. So I'm expecting my money to tick up a little bit more. We're actually almost all the way back up to full, which is pretty good. We only need 628 men, which I have, so we are officially in the black. Cool. Let's go ahead and park these troops over in Leinster. Wow, Connaught! Get yourself a little 3-star general. There's no way you have 100 army tradition. You must have gotten the same event that I did. 4531. Wow, that is a great general, Connaught. Where's my general, though? I think, actually... Yep. I thought so. Alright, well, last video, I overlooked it, but I did get a message that my general had died. How tragic. Well, there goes my wonderful, beautiful general. My wonderful, beautiful general. Oh well, we don't need to hire a new one quite yet. I'm going to let it go since we're going to be building up army tradition. No, wait, my army tradition is going down by my decay of 2.02. Why? I've got a fully maintained force. Is my decay really that bad? Is that because of prestige? No. I could have sworn this was in the positive a while back. Maybe I lost that event that was giving me free army maintenance. Or army tradition. No, it's still there. The last jousting tournament is going to last for a few more years. Wow. Okay. All right. Well, I guess I probably should hire one now then. 50 military power. Whoa! 262. That shock value though. Holy crap. So considering we're still fairly early in the game and shock is definitely more valuable than fire is, at least for infantry, which is making up the crux of my army, that is amazing. Holy crap. Definitely put David Hume in charge of the army. Okay, that was pretty lucky. it could have been a lot worse. Oh wait, Burgundy just ate part of Flanders. So, you have a Regency Council. Scottish economic base compared to Flemish. You're just not especially impressed with me, are you, Flanders? Could I overcome 63 reasons with an alliance, a marriage, and another 32 improved relations? Yeah, I think I could, actually. Is this a risky strategy? You better believe it is. Could it work, though? Maybe. And if I vassalize them, they'll have claims that I can use against Burgundy. And actually, what kind of claims do you have, Gelre? You have a core on Calais, and claims throughout the rest of the Netherlands. Alright. You know what? I'm not sure how well this is going to work, but we're going to try it. Let's offer an alliance to Flanders. They accepted, as is to be expected. Then we'll royal marry them. That's going to take up one of our relationship slots. We could have used that with someone bigger like Castile, but I'm not... Oh, you want to do it? Thank you. That'll help. Could have done that with Castile, but I don't think Castile would have been that helpful to begin with. So let's improve relations with you a little bit more. Another 32, that'll take us up to 173. And then what else could we do? Offer military access. Can we guarantee them? Possibly. I could possibly give them a guarantee. Yeah, I think there are a few things that I could do to possibly make Flanders my new vassal. So we're going to try that. At some point, maybe they'll even transfer their trade power, which I would be pretty okay with. Because again, though, they've got that beautiful coastal center of trade, which is all so valuable in the English trade node. At this point, it's all about making them money. Don't you know? Leinster, how are you doing? Your unrest is down to 0.2 because friendly troops -5. Wow. Friendly troops is actually more effective than I thought it was. It's pretty cool. All right, so actually, Leinster is ticking down. Fantastic! All right, so if this will just tick down to 0, I wouldn't mind. Actually, I could probably just walk away right now. Denmark is no longer a valid rival for Scotland. Well, boo-hoo. Let's see if we can't find a new one. Norway? Yeah, probably Norway. Norway's not exactly a competing power, but I guarantee you sometime in the future, probably the near future, I'm going to take more territory away from Norway. And being able to humiliate them and get some extra power projection would be nice. Who could I send an insult to? Eclipsed Denmark, declared war on England, humiliated. I will send you an insult. Norway. Yeah, that'll work. And that should get me an extra 50, up to another 5 power projection, put me up to 52, eke out a few extra power points because they're oh so important. I do have a free advisor slot, so do I want to pick up somebody who get my extra points? Morale of armies, perhaps? I mean, it's 1.2 ducats a month in order to get extra power. Is that worth it? Yeah, it's probably worth it. Yeah, we're gonna do it. I'm making a pretty good amount of money right now. And, you know, I would love to have a little extra power. Our king is 67 years old. He's gonna die pretty much any time now. It'll be hilarious if I unpause and he just dies right now, next month. Watch it happen. Watch it happen! Oh, it didn't happen. Okay. Trade embargo. Cannot is... Oh, right. I should probably be embargoing people, shouldn't I? Issue an embargo against Norway. That actually will help me cut extra trade power, I think, in the North Sea. So that works for me. Who else? Have I embargoed Provence? Revoke embargo. And England, you are also embargoed. Okay. Do I have a costly embargo against Denmark? I never did issue one. That was actually a goof on my part, but okay. Okay. It'll be fine. Why are we losing money all of a sudden? What's happening? Really? Is the embargo, is that killing me right now? Really? Or did I just lose... I did lose war reparations. I think that might be it. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Maybe I did lose a lot of money for embargoing them. Alright, hang on. We're going to revoke the embargo. I actually now have a trade dispute Casus against Norway, because they embargoed me in turn. Let's tick until the next month and see what happened there. That may have been a mistake. Sure enough, it was. Okay, embargoing Norway is actually very expensive for me. Definitely should not do that. Okay. Well, enjoy it while you can, Norway. With your beautiful coastal centers of trade. If I only felt more confident about how much power I had and I wasn't trying to work my way up to the next idea group. Attacking Norway, conquering Iceland, and then taking Bergenschus would be pretty cool. But it's not going to happen. Not for a little while. I really do need to stock up on my manpower and my treasury. So we'll just keep ticking along here at 4 speed. So, Leinster, you're down to 60%. I no longer consider you to be that much of a threat, so I'm going to go ahead and just drop the army maintenance all the way down. Let's pop our army back up into Scotland. That should do just fine. And once I leave, let's see what happens. Goes back up to 5%, so I just need to keep an eye on them for a little while. Cardinal Minister, one of the cardinals in Scotland, has proven to be a skilled administrator and proves useful to the king. Having a cardinal in our service would be lend us credibility to the Pope and strengthen the sentiment that Scotland is Catholic nation first and foremost. He's aided us well so far. Missionary strength, tolerance of heretics, yearly papal influence, or gain 10 prestige. I mean, at this point, missionary strength is not useful to me, and it's going to last only 10 years. What are the odds that the Protestant Reformation will happen? Not for a little bit, I think. So yeah, the missionary strength and tolerance of heretics won't do us any good. I'm just going to take the prestige. Prestige is useful. Prestige is good. We like prestige. All right. Well, what are some other things I could do? Well, Flanders is now friendly with me. My aggressive expansion is ticking down. You wouldn't give me trade power for a little while. I'm actually kind of surprised that it's not higher than it is right now. I kind of thought it would be. I could proclaim a guarantee, and I will. It gets me an extra 10 relations with them. Ideas. I could take the trade efficiency idea now, and I think I will. Might as well. There we go. An extra 10% trade efficiency. And that'll bump me up to what? Foreign trade competition rises. Heavily regulated. During this era, markets were not fixed. Sell new goods, conditions, tariffs, mercantilism like crud. Oh my gosh, yeah, we'll take that. Mercantilism is pretty awesome. Shrewd commerce practice. I didn't even know that was a modifier. Power projection, prestige, lots of things that lend to mercantilism, but this is one of the only ways to get mercantilism. It's not something you can just get normally. Usually it takes special events or buying it from the Pope. So yeah, we'll definitely take 2.5 mercantilism. Heck freaking yes. And we're up to 8.3 ducats a month out of trade. Fantastic. Increased free trade expired in Scotland. I lost some events. And yet I am still making a freaking ton of money. So it's okay. Flanders, I need you to love me a little bit more, buddy. I do. I need you to love me. Love me! What could I do? There's not a lot more I could do to get my opinion up with them. I can offer them military access. They took that. I need to get up to transfer trade power, which they're not quite willing to do. Scottish military power compared to Flemish. I don't understand. I would have thought that was a positive reason, because I'm pretty darn sure my military and my economy are a lot larger than yours, Flanders. Stupid, sexy Flanders. How much would I have to give you? I mean, I don't have enough money to give you and take your trade power, so... Vassalization. Yeah, this may not happen. My Scottish economic base. It's just not good enough. Huh. Alright. Well, we'll hold on to it for a little while and just see if anything happens that makes Flanders happy with me, but in the meantime, I'm a little disappointed. I kind of thought that was going to go up a little bit more than it did. Alright, France is friendly with us now, which is good, because we have the same dynasty on the throne. We actually have the same with Gelre as well. Didn't even consider doing something with Gelre. You wouldn't have accepted vassalization either, though. What is this modifier of the Scottish economic base? I don't understand that. So what? Do I have to be, like, literally 3 times larger than you before that actually works in my favor, or not? Not really sure. Things we could do at some point include building barracks. That would be nice. In London, I would get an extra 750 manpower. In Essex, I would get 500. It's gonna cost me a chunk of money, but that's currently what I'm saving toward. London does have 27 development, so really what's the calculation as far as manpower, what you would gain out of a barracks? London has 6 military development, Essex has 4, and does everything else pretty much have 2 and 3? Yup. Huh. So I'm guessing that it does go off of your military development. In which case, London's actually really stinking valuable to me in, like, every possible way, because it's very well developed. Alright, let's recall our diplomat with Flanders. Cannot... Actually, do I have a mission? Improve our prestige up to 50. That's probably not going to happen without some special events, so forget that. Let's just cycle the mission out. Cannot, what would it take, I wonder, if I wanted to annex you? Well, it would take more relations, that's for sure, so let's go ahead and start improving that a little bit. Sweden, it's been a while since we were friends with you, so let's work on that a little bit as well. And, I don't know, how about Castile? You're friendly. It might come in handy someday, you never know. Alright, 53 ducats. I guess, instead of building barracks, I really guess I could just continue building ships. I mean, I have force limit for 3 more, right? So, 1, 2. And we'll save up for the last one. We'll be at our naval force limit, which is pretty exciting. And how far are we off the military? We have another 7 regiments we could go with. So let's build up our manpower a bit. Let's build up a grand army of like 28 regiments. And, yeah, we'll just let our economy kind of chug along, because we're doing pretty darn well right now. Feeling pretty good about this, guys. Alright, well, that's been enough for this episode. Thank you guys for watching. This has been Pravus with EU4 Common Sense. If you're enjoying this series, be sure to hit the like button, leave a comment, and subscribe. It really does help for small channels like mine that are trying to grow. As always, I will see you guys next time.